Well, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to be doing our planets through Nakshatra series, and we're going to be discussing Saturn in the Nakshatra of Vishaka and what happens when Saturn is in the Nakshatra of Vishaka in your particular horoscope. And Vishaka is a nakshatra that goes from 20th degree of Libra to, I believe, 320 of Scorpio, 3 degrees and 20 minutes of Scorpio. So we're going to be discussing this. And as always, if you do not know where your Saturn is placed, where your other planetary details are, all your astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, Saturn in Vishaka Nakshatra. Vishaka, according to me, is one of the most complicated nakshatras to understand. Besides Purva Bhadrapada, Vishaka is the second one. In my case, I think I would say it's the first one, because Vishaka has a very eccentric side to itself. Vishaka is very eccentric, especially because of the fact, the dual nature of this nakshatra, the dual branches, and especially why? Because this is the only nakshatra that has two deities, Agni and Indra, the god of fire and the chief of all the gods. So on one side, they're Vishaka nakshatra, and obviously this is an outcast nakshatra, meaning they always feel like, I don't belong here, I don't belong here, I don't belong here, I belong in a completely new sphere. So these are the people who are always trying to be like different, always trying to find a unique way to understand life and to make people understand themselves. Vishaka is about being like an entrepreneur who wants to just change everything, who wants to like destroy everything and build something new. Why? Because of the fact the deity Indra is all about the weather, the storm, the rainfall, tornado. So it kind of symbolizes their ability to clean everything out and build something new in. At the same time, when they are very like, entrepreneurial, business-like, then there's this other side to Vishaka, which is a side related to the ancient knowledge, the ancient rituals, following a certain traditional path. And for them, it's these two paths that they need to manage, that they need to bring together. Now you have Saturn in this nakshatra. Now obviously, as you know, Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra. Okay? However, one of the strong thing is Vishaka Nakshatra's 20th degree, where this nakshatra starts, Saturn actually becomes debilitated in Navamsha. Right when Saturn is exalted at the highest degree of 20th degree, it is debilitated, meaning in the sign of Aries, in Navamsha. What does this symbolize? This symbolizes that the ego of Saturn, your duty, commitment, sacrifice, discipline, structure, organization, has reached at such a high level that it has learned to be humble. Again, it has learned to be humble. Because when a planet is debilitated, its ego is very down. It has to face certain things related to that planet where it will hurt its ego, or it will be punished. So Saturn being exalted in Libra at its highest of peak, in the Navamsha, the most important chart in Vedic astrology, it is debilitated because this person has to learn to humble themselves. They have to also take a leadership role in their life. Saturn is not the person to take leadership role, but when Saturn is at its highest, 20th degree, it has to take a leadership role in order for it to succeed. And Saturn becoming the planet of duty, commitment, sacrifices, discipline, structure. Being in Vishaka Nakshatra, it is like completely opposite. Because now you have this eccentric Nakshatra who destroys things, follows a certain spiritual path, bring these things together, arranges everything. So now this planet is here, Saturn. Like, all right, I want to arrange something. But then Saturn has to realize that, oh, I need to destroy something first before I arrange it. And this is the nakshatra where Saturn, your discipline and structure itself and your duty towards others will always feel like a chaotic task. Because you always, like one thing you will realize with this is that with these people, because remember, Saturn is a planet of karmas. Your actions, your karmas being performed in this world. So whenever you go to work, it doesn't matter if you have your own business or if you're working, especially working, I would more emphasize on because Saturn is service. More than business, it's service. Whenever you go towards servicing in a new company, new workplace, you somehow always run into a place which is chaotic and you're the one who has to perform the action of arranging it together. Like you tend to always come into a company which is just has a disorganized, and that's why they hired you. It's not like, oh, you're just replacing this person, they're going to train you and everything is boom, working fine, and you're carrying on the management role, you're carrying on the IT role, you're carrying on the financial role, accounting role. Oh no, it'll be like distraught. What is here, what is here, what is here, what is here? Now your duty, your commitment, your karma is to arrange those things. And because Saturn is a slow-moving planet, it takes patience. It takes long duration to arrange these things. So obviously the frustration can come in. But also these people, after a while, literally in their late 30s, early 40s, is when they truly realize the wisdom and the knowledge that they have learned in their life by dealing with all these chaotic situations. Why? Because this is a nakshatra ruled by Jupiter, Guru, teacher, wisdom, knowledge. Your wisdom and knowledge always comes through chaos. So let's say if you're going through Saturn Mahadasha. And also this is the nakshatra that also has Pushkara Navamsha degree, I believe. I forgot which one it is, but it's one of the degrees, like the early degrees, known as the Pushkara Navamsha degree. But here Saturn has to learn the fact that by chaos, by dealing with chaos in their life, is where they have learned the true wisdom. Early on, it'll frustrate you. If you're in your 20s and you have Saturn in Vishaka, you'll be like, why is my life so disorganized? Why am I always running into such disorganized situations? Why? Because in your late in life, you will run into opportunities where you can gain something by having the knowledge of arranging something out of chaos. And Saturn Dasha, and I think I deviated from that, yes. So Saturn Dasha is running, okay? Especially in Saturn Dasha, you will notice when it comes to your education, relationships, your work, career, your spiritual progress, everything starts from a chaos. And you have to slowly work towards it and arrange it. But once you arrange it, it's like a glue. It sticks together. Because Saturn is a planet that does things for a long duration and things which are committed. This is what commitment is seen through Saturn. This is why Saturn is exalted in the 7th house in Libra. What is commitment? Where is commitment required? In a relationship, in a marriage, in a partnership. So when Saturn ties something, it's like glue. You're committed now. When Saturn arranges chaos and arranges in a perfect synchronized form, it is glued together. It'll be hard to take it apart. Kind of like, I'll give you an example. Let's say the former president of the United States, FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt. I'm not saying that he has Saturn in Vishaka. I don't know if he has a planet in Vishaka. But he's the type of president who came in chaos during the World War. US was coming out of depression. All these things were happening. He had to take the chaos and arrange everything. He brought in the manufacturing business, steel business. He brought in Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment benefits. He brought all of these things. He arranged things from chaos. That's who you are. It may not be your personality, unless Saturn is your Atma Karka, planet with the highest degree. It may not be your belief system, Saturn. It may not be your passion, whatever Saturn is showing in your life with this nakshatra. But when it comes to you performing an action, this is where Saturn is going to show its color with Vishaka. And Vishaka is all about colors. So whenever you have to work, that's where you deal with the Vishaka things. That, oh my God, okay, so I'm coming in a company where the accountant left in the middle. All the paperwork are all over the place. They cannot find what this bookkeeping is, that bookkeeping, this bookkeeping is. And now I have to fix it. All right. Okay. So now what happens is, now Saturn brings that Vishaka quality out. But okay, so my karmas, the actions that I'm performing, is to arrange things out of chaos. Also, this can definitely represent like split personality people. Like Saturn represents, your servants, subordinates, maternal uncle. You'll notice that these people are quite eccentric in nature. And if you're going through Saturn Mahadasha, you'll be eccentric. People will have a hard time figuring out, like, one minute you're happy, the next minute you're just like screaming at everybody. Kind of like Steve Jobs' like personality. I don't know. Did he have Saturn in Vishaka? I think he does. His Saturn is exalted in the 3rd house. He may have Vishaka Nakshatra in him. Although his Sun in Aquarius also makes him just as eccentric, but that's what this, Nakshatra is all about. It's about arranging things, being innovative, being unique, and making arrangement out of chaos, cleaning things out, arranging new things in. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Saturn in Vishaka Nakshatra. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Saturn is placed, all the other astrological details, my report, books, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.